What, do you like the school lunch?
No.
What's your favorite lunch food?
Pizza.
What class are you in? Come on!
Has this ever happened to you? Well, if it has, we can help you fix it. So cringy. Follow me.
Whenever I have kids going out to conduct interviews for the yearbook, I tell them to make sure they have a plan. Make sure you have a set of questions ahead of time so you're not just winging it and getting random information.
Interviews are important for yearbook because that is the sole area where you get the story from.
It's very important to get students' opinions throughout the school when you're talking about a story that's going to be aired to the whole school.
It's part of the process of storytelling. So it's very important.
Most of the content of the story has to come from the quote, and if you can't get a good quote, no matter what you do, your story will never be as good.
Interviewing is a big part of what we do because everything we do is based off talking to other students or adults.
Now that you know interviews are important, what are some challenges that people face while getting interviews?
I think the most difficult part for my staff is probably just the discomfort the first few times that you do it.
Sometimes I have a person I know I want to interview, but coming up with exactly what to ask them to get the right quote can be kind of difficult.
The technical qualities like audio and shot composition is all super important for FX interviews.
I think the only difficult part about interviewing kids is getting them out of the classroom because sometimes teachers don't let them out, and then we have to move our schedule around based upon that.
Be mindful of when you're trying to interrupt that teacher. Do your best really not to disrupt the learning process.
If you just tell the teacher who you are and who you want and what the reason is, there should be no problem.
Talking to older students is hard, and I've got some freshmen, sophomores in my class that, a freshman girl, hey, go interview this senior boy. That's hard. That's a next level thing to be able to do.
If you find yourself being interviewed, here are some tips and thoughts to keep in mind.
What makes a good interview is having a comfortable atmosphere.
I think sometimes it's okay to ask leading questions, like if you're working with somebody who maybe hasn't been interviewed before.
I would say just don't be nervous. The interviewer wants it to go well just as much as you do.
I really want them to get deep, and so I want a series of questions that gets progressively deeper.
Look like you want to be interviewed.
Just treat it like a conversation and forget that you're even being recorded.
If it's great questions and good eye contact and good involvement, and the interviewee kind of meets them halfway, then that's when the most successful interviews happen.
Now you have all the information you ever need to know about being interviewed and how to do it successfully.